Hello guys, welcome to the channel. This is MPT Reviews. This is a new channel. What we do here, we review laptops, technology, everything for tech solutions. Today, what do we have here? We have the HP Omen 15. This is a gaming rig. I wouldn't really call it a laptop. It's a rig. Guys, look at this thing. It's built like a tank, and with the angular design, it looks like a Lamborghini. So this laptop by HP is the solution. It's mostly for multimedia and gaming. This is a niche product. To get this kind of product, you really have to be either an esports or professional gamer. I don't really see the need for gaming laptops for personal use. The Omen itself was a brand that was acquired by HP, formerly known as Voodoo PC. Yeah, look from the logo, looks like Voodoo, sort of. So they acquired Voodoo, and with that, the Omen line was born. There are also other gaming lines. I think the Pavilion gaming series also, but this is strictly for their high-end gaming solutions. So we'll look at the chassis, the design, then we go through the specifications, explain all of that, the battery life, then I'm going to give my verdict on this laptop. So from the design, the body feels sturdy. I think it's made of solid plastic. Then the base feels like a magnesium alloy. So it feels very sturdy, and with this, it's going to last. Scratches and scuffs seem well hidden, and also when we open it up, the keyboard feels solid. It's a full keyboard. It's 15 inches. The keyboard has good feedback. The trackpad feels well sized with individual buttons, click buttons. So to the specifications, this is a 15-inch gaming laptop. It's a Core i7 9th generation. It's got 16 gigs of RAM and a 512 SSD. Yeah, SSD, not hard drives. SSDs they're not the future. It's currently the present. The performance difference between SSDs and HDDs is like night and day. So it's got a dedicated RTX 2070 graphics. That's 8 gig of dedicated video memory. So I'm going to explain all these specifications while we go through it. Then let's try putting it up. So for the display, we've got a 15-inch 144 Hz refresh rate display. For the refresh, it's something gamers want. You don't want your display freezing up on you while you're getting blasted away by opponents. That's it for the specifications. So for Core i7, there's Core i3, i5, i7. We know some of that stuff by Intel. i7s are usually higher performance variations of the Intel processors. 9th generation, this is fairly recent. With 9th gen, we've got at least 12 MB cache memory. So with the cache memory, we can load up processes faster without relying on the RAM. RAM is slower, cache memory is faster. So for the RAM, we've got 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's okay for gaming solutions. It's not really a workstation per se. For workstations, we require 32 gigs. But for 16 gig for gaming, it's okay. 512 SSD, that's big for SSDs. SSDs are usually more expensive than their hard drive counterparts. So for 512, it's okay. It can handle most large game files. So we just boot it up. Let's go through the specifications here. Yeah, 16 gigs, i7, and it's a H solution. Intel processors usually come with these suffixes H, K, sometimes HK, QM. The H really means high performance. If it was a K, it's unlocked, meaning we can increase the clock speed. But this, I think, can go up to 4 gigahertz under Intel's Turbo Boost. Then for the NVIDIA graphics, 8 gigs of dedicated video RAM. Yeah, this will go a long way for high intense AAA titles, so we can play games like Fortnite, Witcher, Call of Duty Ghost, the AAA stuff. They will work here without any bottlenecks or issues. For the keypad, let's go back to this keypad. It feels very spongy and clicky. The feedback is good. For laptops like this, we really need that feedback, and we need it to respond quickly. It's not like you're typing Word documents. If you're playing a game, you want to feel that response from your keys. You're like, oh yeah, you have this feel that you just blasted that guy or something. Keyboard is good. It's a full keyboard. So what else do we have to know about this? With the 144 Hz refresh rate simply means the number of times an image is refreshed. As we look at this screen, it's not really a static image. It's just being played back several times that our naked eyes can't detect it. So there's something called a frame buffer. Whatever information that is shown on the screen has to be refreshed. If it stays static, for example, if this is an OLED screen, static images can lead to burn in. Sometimes you see an image, even after you've left that interface, it's still showing there. So to prevent things like that, the images have to be refreshed. And for 144 Hz, that's quite fast. We have Android phones having 120 Hz, gaming phones having 144, even some gaming laptops go as high as 240, but 144 is okay. It makes animation smooth, gameplay is smooth, and we don't have ghosting and some other hiccups while playing games. For the speaker solution, we have Bang and Olufsen. This is a high-end audio driver, always used by HP, the high-end stuff for good audio performance. So the speakers are located under the display. We have some outlets here, and they look big enough. I think these are like subwoofers for the speakers. Then for cooling, that's one aspect that is very important for gaming laptops. You can't game on these systems without an appropriate cooling solution. It's all about performance. And one thing we know from semiconductor chips, generally, the hotter they get, to prevent damage to the tiny transistors that make up this processor, to prevent them from overheating, we have to cool them down. And to prevent it from getting heat up, the clock speed drops. You have your system, there are several benchmarks that show this. You have your system reading 1.8 gigahertz, all of a sudden performance drops because it gets hot, because it's physics, it's thermodynamics. In order to cool it down, we have to drop performance. But in a cooled environment or with a thorough cooling solution, we can prevent that. That's why you see these gaming laptops having so many vents, like very large vents, which you won't get on business laptops or on slimmer solution. So this wide vent ensure proper cooling, airflow. The airflow has to cool it down. The only downside to this is the noise. If you're in a quiet place and you're playing games, or you're in an office, although this is not meant to be in an office, the sound from the fans can get intrusive. The noisier they get, it has to cool it down. So but for this is okay. The vents are big enough, and if you play games on this, at least before you have thermal throttling issues, it should go a long way. So that's all for, these are like my first impressions for this HP Omen laptop. If you're interested in this, you could reach out to our sponsors, Nanish Tech. They deal with systems like this. If you want it, you get it there for very good discounted prices. So you can check the description below and reach out to Nanish Technologies. They have laptops like this, gaming laptops, business laptops, ultrabooks, whatever you want, name it, you get them there. So this is, I'll give it a, out of 5 stars, I'll give this a 4.0. My only perks and issues to this display doesn't seem very high end. It's an IPS display, but the viewing angles seem kind of limited. Maybe it's a drawback from the anti-glare. Anti-glare means is this matte display. If it was a glossy display, glossy displays are something like this. It's shiny. it helps with the contrast, but for this has an advantage of being used outdoors. It prevents reflection from the screen, but it also limits the contrast. The display doesn't seem high end in my solution, in my opinion, but with 144 hertz, I would say it's good to go. The keyboard is one of the big pluses for me. It's got great keyboards and great speakers, so I'll really recommend this. It's a good laptop for gaming. There are other alternatives. There's Dell Alienware, Dell Area 51. We've got Lenovo Legion. We'll be reviewing those from time to time, and we'll have comparisons where we'll go through this and make thorough comparisons. But for the HP Omen, aka Voodoo, the logo looks like Voodoo or something, I'll give it. I'll recommend it for the users out there. So thank you very much for watching this. We've come to the end of this short review of the HP Omen 15. So just I would want you to subscribe and like this channel. It's a new channel. We'll have gaming laptops, ultrabooks, business enterprise laptops, basically everything technology. So check this out. Thank you for watching it to the end. Till we see you again.